Hello seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Venus is about to go retrograde in few days and Venus will go retrograde in the sign of Taurus, and this will happen on 13th of May 2020. Venus retrogression happens to be in it's a sandwich retrogression because on 11th of May Saturn will go retrograde and on 30th and 14th of May Jupiter will go retrograde. Both Saturn and Jupiter will go retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And Venus, however, happens to be going into retrogression in the sign of Taurus, Taurus being fifth from Capricorn. Now, fifth house is defined as productivity, expression, learning. So, the retrogression of Jupiter and Saturn, what can you learn from this retrogression is defined from Venus. So, this Venus is about quitting the luxury, going to the nature, embracing the natural. This Venus is about not being insecure, because a lot of insecurity will come because of the Mars presence in the sign of Aquarius. Now here you have to club every possible combination and presence of the planet, whereas Mercury will also go to the sign of Taurus, where it will find Venus retrograding. Now in this case, if you combine, it is too many parameters here. So let's keep it very simple. In this case, the two factors that you have to take care is Mars fourth aspect on Venus, because Mars is an Aquarius, it just came out of exaltation. And on the other hand, the retrogression effect in our learning. Venus defines luxury, Venus defines comfort, Venus is also a guru, Venus is all about creativity. Venus is about expressing yourself in a creative way, art, craft, fine arts, feminism, feminine energy, all these things has to be reversed and reflected within. So this is the time when you find the talent within yourself. Because of the retrogression of Venus in the sign of Taurus, because Mercury is also placed in that particular zodiac, this means the talent has to be from within and you have to listen to your soul. This is where you listen to what you want from life. I have already mentioned in the Jupiter and Saturn retrograde videos that Jupiter is going to give you wisdom, whereas Saturn is going to make you do. But apart from that, this small transit of Venus and this small, a kind of a cameo played by the planet Venus is going to give you somewhat uncomfortable scenario, so you have to find your right place. So this is the time where you actually find out where you actually fit. So in a way, the right person will be finding himself just fitting at the right time, in the right moment, at the right place. Now this kind of adjustment shows a lot of calibration, lot of remapping, lot of relocation. People will go from here and there. You will also recalibrate yourself, your efforts, what you like, what you dislike. If you are talking about relationships, because Venus also defines relationships, especially wife in a man's chart, this also will impact marriage in a great way. You need to communicate what is coming from your heart, but in a very positive and optimistic manner, because Mars in the sign of Aquarius is somewhat inflamed. The fire is right now all over the place, and that may burn the Venus, because Mars fourth aspect is about defensive, protective and possessive aspect. So when Mars is being very much possessive about Venus, this means you will try to hold on to things and you will not give up, but you will ultimately have to give it away. So this is the time where you rethink on lot of factors of life. Now take a look where Taurus and Libra are placed in your own zodiac. Those zodiacs will be re-evaluated, especially from the critical thinking perspective, from the creative perspective. You will feel a lot insecure, so you have to do something to secure yourself. Not the right time to spend lavishly. Even if you have the money, hold on, don't spend, don't invest, just wait for a certain time, wait for the right time. If you have planned enough, then you can go ahead. But if you are just jumping into the boat and thinking that the scenario, you can some encash benefit out of this, you will not be able to. Venus is also the ruler of balance in your horoscope. Now what is Libra? Libra is defined by a common balance. Now that does not mean your life is balanced. Libra means trying to balance yourself. Second house is also ruled by, of the Kalpurush is also ruled by Venus, which is Taurus. Taurus defines input, what you eat and what you speak. So it is the house of mouth. It is the house of speech. It is the house of food. All these things has to be reconsidered. All these things has to be recalibrated. What exotic food you would like to eat? Is it necessary right now? What would you like to talk about? Is it necessary right now? How can you balance your life? What are the ways by which you can actually balance your life? Remember, the two houses of Venus, Taurus and Libra are actually 6-8 from each other. They do not actually complement. So in that way, if you want to strike, now what does it teach? It teaches that if you want to strike balance, somewhere you have to compromise the security of your life, somewhere you have to take slight risk, somewhere you have to change your value system, because Taurus defines value system in the Kalpurush chart. It is the natural second house. So the belief, your family construct, your value system, values in your family, all will change. Your relationship with people are going to transform and will take a new shape. Forget about what is happening in the world. This will happen on a personal level. Venus also will impact a lot of marriage. So if you have a troubled marriage, if you are going in a troubled relationship, this time you will rethink in a very constructive and positive way whether you would want to stay in this relationship or not, but not before you become possessive about it. This means you may take certain actions, you may take certain steps that will create a negative impact between two people, two party involved, and this may create unnecessary confusion, fights, insecurities, jealousy, all those things. Lack of love will come. So this is the time to love yourself. It's retrograde Venus. So you love yourself, you meditate. Venus also rules in a way occult science, the Tantra Vidya. So you need to go to the science of spirituality, you need to learn a bit of astrology, you can do a lot of meditation. If you have a mantra, you can chant that mantra, do the siddhi of that mantra. Venus retrogression is obviously going to impact the expense arena of the world, how you can spend, what lavish spending you will be able to do. All those things will be somewhere impacted, and it is the right time to actually not do so. Just save the money as much as possible and don't try to overspend. Venus loves spending, but retrograde Venus is saying save the money. Be a miser, not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Controlled expense is very much necessary at this point of time. Venus retrogression also means, in a way, your time in public domain will also reduce, and because Venus defines art and craft, so you need to find different ways of expressing yourself, because Mercury is also with there, so you have to express. So now when you go inside, you have heard something from your soul. You should listen to your soul. You should listen to your body. Now when you have listened to that, how are you communicating? How you will be able to express that? That will also be a very important key here. Now during this retrogression of Venus, Sun will also make its move into the sign of Taurus, because Sun right now is in the sign of Aries. Now a lot of things is happening, lot of things. Now if you see carefully, after a certain point of time, the trine of Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn will have at least 5 planets. When Venus, Mercury, Sun on Taurus zodiac, Jupiter and Saturn on the sign of Capricorn. So the earth element is very, very heavy here. So when earth element have most of the planets, you need to calm down, you need to stabilize yourself. This is not the time to jump around, this is not the time to take a risk, this is the time to stabilize, this is the time to wait, this is the time to reflect. So when earth is excavated, you dig the earth, you bring things out. So when the retrograde planet happens to be mostly in the earth sign, especially Mercury will also go retrograde in the near future, you need to understand that you are digging the earth. So when you excavate, when you dig inside the earth, secrets come out. So what is the earth in the natural form? We as a human body is the earth element. What we can touch is the solid object. Anything that is solid is earth element. So that earth element means you need to take care of your body. You have to treat your body as a temple. This means some hidden disease may come out, so you need to be very careful in this case. This also means that throughout the world there will be breakthrough in medicines, which is good for humanity. But also on the other hand, you need to go purely natural. Go into the nature, obviously under the restrictions imposed. Go into the nature whenever it is possible. Try to do pranayam, because breathing is very important. When the earth element becomes prominent, the weight may fluctuate. Because Venus also defines hormones, a lot of people will see hormone fluctuation, especially if you have a bad Venus. So suddenly, after Venus retrogression, you will suddenly gain weight or you may lose weight. So you need to keep a check on all those areas. Venus also defines love. So this is not the right time to actually commit into a relationship. Just wait, it's a very short period of time. Give it the test of time. Wait till the time becomes right. So guys, this was a very short analysis on Venus retrogression. Stay tuned for the next video, but do not forget to hit like, subscribe and share and hit the bell icon so that you never miss another update. So guys, please subscribe, because it's the subscription that keeps you and me connected, and without which you will fail to get the notifications of my videos. This is your host Puneet. Namaste.